Hello everybody, I'm Adam Bilsing and this is the Dirty Bandana Drum Project, where we do daily deep dives into every aspect of playing the drums. Today is a very special episode. I'm going to talk about my feelings on my low volume Zildjian L80 cymbals and my Remo silent stroke drum heads after playing on this stuff for a couple weeks. So let's get down to it and see what I think. Okay, so like I said, I want to talk about the voicings a little bit of the practice pad setup, practice kit setup. No more practice pads, that's the point. So I've got the Remo silent stroke drum heads on the kick drum and the snare drum, and the Zildjian L80 low volume cymbals here for my crash ride and my hi-hats. And I've been playing on them for, I don't know, a week or two now, and I'm starting to notice a few things as I try to dial this all in, and really it's all making me want normal, full volume, loud stuff like right away, like as soon as possible. This has all been a really interesting step, and it's better than the practice pad kit. Everything sounds like the things it's supposed to sound like, but I'm about to describe to you why I want real drums and real cymbals as soon as possible. So let's start with the good. First things first, silent stroke kick drum. I really don't have any problems with that. I like it a lot. I have a blanket in there. I have it tuned down. It's fairly loose. But it's still giving me some rebound, and to my ears, it kind of actually sounds like a kick drum. It's quieter, of course, but not even by all that much. Like, I feel like there are certain clubs where if you brought that kick drum set up, they would be really happy with you. On to potentially my least favorite part of this, the snare drum setup. I've been tweaking around with this a whole bunch, trying to make it sound as good as I can. And at this moment, I have like a muffling ring on it. That looks like a, I don't know, 1 inch or something, maybe 3/4 inch. And I've got it tuned up kind of high, but not as tight as I would normally have a snare drum head. It's not bad. It has a snare sound, but some of that's coming from this ring. And that's honestly why I have the ring on there. So it's not bad, but I like the little extra buzz sound that this ring is giving it. And everybody knows in 2020 your snare drum sound can be like whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be real or anything. So really all by itself that sounds pretty good. My problem that I'm having with this stuff is when I start to play it all together. And the cymbals similarly, pretty good. However, keen-eyed viewers will notice that I have a bunch of crap hanging off my hi-hat here. There's a bandana type thing on the inside of it, and I have this weird fleece scarf deal on the top of it. And it still is pretty bright and kind of loud comparatively. So I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can see it down here. You see I have tape on the underside of the cymbal, and I have tape on these ones too, because I'm trying to darken them up and quiet them up a little bit. Now, I always like really, really, really dark cymbals in general. That's been my favorite forever. I like them to hardly sustain at all. I like it if there's like actual dirt on them that you can see. And I like them to just be kind of dead and quiet and dark. And these cymbals, I think due to the nature of the low volume stuff and having all the holes drilled in them and everything, these are bright. And really, this brings me to my biggest problem with my current setup. It's not that they're bright. I can deal with that. It's the volume of everything when I play it together. So, for example, let me just play a little groove. It's not terrible, and I'm really nitpicking here, but the snare drum should be louder compared to the cymbals. Same with the kick drum. Basically, the problem I'm having is that the cymbals are coming off a lot louder than the drums right now, and I think what's going to happen is that I'm going to start to compensate for it by swinging harder at the drums to try to make everything EQ'd the way that I hear it in my head, like this, for example. Which is only slightly different, but it starts to matter. Versus all right, so the real reason that I'm worried about that and why I think it's going to be interesting and concerning long term is that parts of this will be good. My right hand could stand learning how to play at lower volumes. Like so many of us, I think my right hand kind of just chops away, just sort of saws away at eighth notes, and that's bad old habits, and I need to be paying a little more attention to the volume of my right hand in general. But I'm worried that when I switch to normal drum heads and real cymbals and full volume everything, that the habits I will gain from using these practice pad skins are maybe going to make my left hand even louder. Anyway, I don't have a solution for all this yet, and I don't really know what I'm going to do about it, but I do know that I'm noticing, and I'm noticing that I'm putting a little extra effort and a little extra oomph into the snare drum and the kick drum to try to make them come up to the volume of the cymbals, and I think long term that might be kind of a problem. So the solution overall, get myself moved to Tennessee and get these drums into their very own room with some soundproofing where I can play real actual drums. I basically can't wait. So I wanted to do a little video about how I'm feeling about the practice pad setup, the practice cymbals, practice drum head setup, and that's what this was all about. But now it's time for me to get to work finishing up my house here so I can get it sold, move to Tennessee, and put up real drums. That's where we're going next. So this has been a strange episode. You got to hear a little bit of playing. I'll do an outro like I always do, but that's it for now. All right, that's going to do it for today's very special episode from the Dirty Bandana Drum Project, and another day in the books working towards my ultimate goal of ecstatic improvisation through technical mastery of the drum set, which just means that I want to freak out real good behind the drums. If you'd like to follow along and make sure you don't miss any of the upcoming excitement from the Dirty Bandana Drum Project, go ahead and like and subscribe below. You can also catch me over on Twitter and Instagram at Dirty Bandana, on Reddit at Dirty Bandana Drums, and you can get all the details for everything about the Dirty Bandana Drum Project, predictably, at dirtybandana.com. That's it for now. We'll see y'all next time.